All right, greetings, educators. I'm sitting out here on my patio enjoying the evening air, and I'm going to do this lecture. This is the last lecture that you have to listen to. It's really more of a going away message. Anyway, you might hear my dogs barking in the background. That's one of the pitfalls of teaching from home. It's hard to shut the dogs up when they are running around terrorizing the house. My little pit bull is terrorizing all the chihuahuas in the house and the cats in the family. I've already had to record this once and delete it because um, of his craziness in this world. But anyway, let me get on with this project. Listen, I took the evening to review the course, and I went over all the discussions and the assignments, and I even went through some of the emails that I got from some of you at the beginning of the semester. Um, and I've been reflecting back on the experience of the semester, and I'm not going to hash all of that out for you. It's more of a reflection on my part. You can go back and look at what you did in the class and reflect on what you've learned and stuff like that. But for me, I wanted to take one last look at the class as a reflective educator so that I can make changes to it in the next semester that I teach. And I've been making some notes about what I need to do to be better. But anyway, this is some of the things that struck me as I was going through that material. I know that from your correspondence with me and each other that you felt very bewildered and lost when you began this course. And some of you questioned your ability with the technology, and you also questioned your ability with the course content itself. And you felt completely and utterly overwhelmed. And I want to thank you all and commend you all for sticking it out and going to the next level and moving through it and just hanging in there because um, those of you that did stick it out learned a lot and you contributed mightily to the class, and so that I want to commend you for. um, I got a kick out of how some of you really took hold and enjoyed the class introduction icebreaker, and some of you thought it was a bogus idea and didn't really care for it at all. But listen, what I would like for you to do is have a class introduction discussion in each of your classes. It's a way for to help your students bond to the class and engage them to the course and each other and you. And so, whatever it is that you decide to use as your icebreaker, it needs to be a personal reflection of your personality and something that you can have fun with, and so can they. After a couple of weeks, many of you settled into the course and you began to really take this course seriously. And I've said this before, and I will always remember the summer of 11 in EDUC 195 as the most serious course that I've taught to date. And that's not a reflection of me. That's a reflection of you and the seriousness that you all took to this class, and I really appreciate it. And I want you to know that I probably learned more this summer in this class than all of the times that I've taught this class previously combined. And I felt more like a facilitator than a teacher. Could just sit back and let y'all go because of how serious you took it and how you took the readings from this course and you really made them a part of your learning experience, and I appreciate that. So anyway, I won't beat that horse to death, but thank you for the way that you became serious about the course content and making it a part of your learning experience. As I told you in the email the other day, this course is going to stay open indefinitely. You'll have access to it. Anything that's in there, consider it a resource to you. You're welcome to use it in whatever way that you see fit. I would like for you to stop and take time to go back and look at the My Grades portion of this course. I did your final grade in there, and I did it as a word. Your final grade is in that field is a word instead of a letter or points in the way that we're used to seeing it. So I'd like for you to take a look at that. It won't take you long. It's just something that I think all of you should see that you have the capability of doing it, especially if you ever teach an SU course or satisfactory, unsatisfactory course is what I mean by SU. And there's one last word of advice I'd like to give you about course design and learning activities that go into a course. I want you to remember that they always should be driven by the learning objectives of the course. Um, so many times I see instructors or professors, the people that I work with, begin to construct a course just almost out of the air, you know, always remember that those learning objectives should be your path to construction and course building. Um, Also, I would like for you to leave here with knowing that I'm an advocate of multiple forms of assessment in an online class. When you make students discuss, take quizzes, do writing exercises, um, do exams, do research papers, on and on and on. When you assess them in multiple ways, you are hitting the needs of many students and their best learning modalities. Also, it is one of the best ways to help prevent cheating. And notice I say prevent. We're not ever going to stop it unless we get into the biometrics of prevention, and that's coming. But right now it's not foolproof. But multiple forms of assessment is a way to cut down on the cheating, I believe. Um, for those of you who would like to move one step closer to using Blackboard as a way to help you track your students' learning toward the learning objectives in your class, um, you can use the goals tool in Blackboard to do that. And if you would like to know more about how to do that, you set up your learning objectives as a goal in the course, and then you tie that to each activity. At the end of the semester, you go back and track that goal, and it helps you see where how your students did toward that learning objective. So if you'd like to know more about that, come by my office or give me a call, and I can show you a little bit more about how that works. Um, Okay, educators, I hope you learned a lot in this class. I know you, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope that you learned a lot. But I hope it was also an enjoyable experience, especially after the first couple of weeks. I know that that's a rough a time for everybody as we begin this course. Um, One of the important things that I want want you to think about is that you now have your student's perspective, and have this perspective of an online student. So always reflect back when you're teaching, when you're experiencing things that go on in a class. How would my students, or how did I feel when I was a student? So that student's perspective is invaluable. I'm going to sign off for now. This is going to be our last meeting, my last communication to you. Thanks for being the best EDUC 195 class I've ever had. Yeah, I will remember you guys forever. It was a wonderful experience. You guys rock. And again, just happy e-learning out there and happy online teaching and learning. Adios.